I have one question for you. I hope that you are able to answer yes. Have you subscribed to this podcast? If you have not, stop what you are doing right now and subscribe. You can keep the podcast going. If you are listening via iTunes, please, please, please hit that big purple button above the podcast. It says subscribe. Subscribing lets you have direct access to these episodes right when they are released, literally within 5 minutes of me releasing them. You'll have them. Also, do not forget to subscribe, rate, and review. I have been getting more ratings, I have been getting more reviews, but we need more. I want to bring more awareness to narcissistic personality disorder and also maternal narcissism. So, in order for iTunes to know that this podcast is needed and loved, they have to see those ratings and reviews growing and growing. If you are listening via any of our other platforms, please be sure to leave a review on our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at Vanquisher the Podcast. You can also like us there too. If you would like to leave a review on our website, www.vankpod.com, you can leave it right on that first page. Take some time to go over and learn about the host. That is me, Eve Davis Paul. I really appreciate all the support. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let's get to the show. Thanks for tuning in. This is Eve Davis Paul, and you are listening to Vanquisher. Episode 15. What's going on, VANQPOD? It is Wednesday, April the 25th. Oh my gosh, all of this rain has been killing me. I am so ready for warm weather and sunshine, but I guess Earth has to get watered some way. How are you guys? What have you been up to? I need more interaction on social media. I really do want to know what the fuck y'all think. Now, I know that some of our nutcase moms have us hiding out like we are on America's Most Wanted Top 10, but you can directly email me at vankpod@gmail.com. Trust me, I got some emails last week and it is me that replies. I reply directly with my opinions, what I think you should do, how to move forward in specific situations. Holla at your girl. I'm here for y'all. I love y'all. We are in this together. And I know sometimes it actually may seem like we aren't, but know that I'm always there and that every day is a learning experience for me too. Y'all know what I'm about to say. They make me say it. I gotta say it. So here it is. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist of any kind. Please do not take anything that you hear on the show and try to substitute it as professional help. I am, however, the daughter of a narcissistic mother. We have that in common. And if we do not, I hope that you are able to get something from this podcast. I am all about laughing through the pain and healing together. Episode 15. We made it. April has been a wonderful month for us. It was our first month that we hit 1,000 downloads in a month. That means I was getting about 35 downloads a day, which means that every single one of you are fucking awesome. I appreciate it and I love you so, 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 so much. I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Eric. I see you, bro. I see your movement. I appreciate you for supporting and sharing the podcast. It means the world to me. Episode 15, cutting family ties. This is something that all of us deal with. Strangely, in 1968, Channel 7 News of DC named Wendell, her siblings, and my grandparents DC's perfect family of the year. It's almost hard to imagine that 20 years into my life in 2012, I did not believe that I would ever have a family of my own, and it was so many fucking times I wish that I wasn't a part of my own family. But we know, as daughters of narcissistic moms, that it's so much fucking more to that when your mom is an art. You're a part of everything, even the shit that you don't want to be a part of. My hopes of having my own family and even believing that I deserved my own family were completely down the drain. 50 years forward from 1968, my immediate family is stricken with dysfunction, and Wendell is just the cherry on top. There are two misconceptions that people have when they separate from their family. The first thing is that they can't be happy, and the second thing is that they won't have anybody. Like, I'm going to be all alone, and this, that, and the third. And you want to know the funny thing? The funny thing is that when we are connected to our family and our narc mom is in the middle of everything, like completely stirring shit up all the fucking time. It's just like, it's like a Uncontrollable adult Tasmanian devil infant. Like, what the fuck? Sit the fuck down. Stop destroying shit. Stop crying. Stop whining. Stop drooling. Stop destroying shit. When our mom is in the middle of all of that, destroying everything that we could possibly have, fucking up lines of communication, what do we have when we are connected to our family? We may have that one uncle that feels bad for us, that married our aunt, that will talk to us at the family reunion. But overall, most of the family just sees us as an extension of her. Even as fucking adults with our own families, we are still an extension of her. And you know what the fuck that makes us? Batshit fucking crazy too. It's like, even when we are separating ourselves, trying to be the bigger person, trying to be the mature party, we still get grouped with her. Like, imagine that shit. No matter what we do, no matter what, as long as we are connected to our family and with her, we still aren't seen as an individual. Doesn't that shit make you so fucking mad? Like, it makes me super mad. When I used to not be doing nothing, minding my own business, just trying to stay peaceful, you know what I'm saying? Keep it real cool and cordial with her. Something would happen and people would always say, y'all need to figure this out. Y'all need to work this out. And I'm just standing there like, okay, her choking me isn't something that we need to work out. She just needs to keep her fucking hands to herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point are we really seen as separate? At what point do we really get the respect that we deserve? The respect that we'll never get from her. You know, I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to be the one to be the bearer of bad news, but that respect is never going to come from her. I did, however, find that respect was easier gained when I made the separation. When I literally walked away, some family members was just like, oh, well, decide to send a quick message via Facebook and make sure you're okay. Because obviously there's something going on. And, while we're not really worried about what it is specifically, we want to make sure that you're okay. What I can tell you is that in making that separation, people will be able to see that, okay, we thought it was them all along just having an issue with each other. Now we see that it's her, her being our mom. It's easy to be in a circus, it's easy to be a part of a group, but when you separate shit and an issue is still happening, people start to notice, okay, maybe Eve wasn't the issue. Maybe it wasn't just Eve all along, like we thought. For some reason they take everything that our mom say for face value, as if she ain't slapped them and stole from them and lied on them and tried to kill him. Like, okay, so we just gonna try to act like she's not one that flew over the cuckoo's nest. That's just what we gonna do here. That's just we just gonna do that. I mean, really do the math. You have two people, one person's causing a problem. If that one person stands next to that other person, that one person is going to get wrapped up in that person's problem, right? When that person decides to literally move away, that one person is going to be causing a problem by itself, drawing attention to itself and no one else. This is the exact same situation. What I did gain when I walked away was peace of mind. And I know that some of my sisters and some of my listeners who are not women may be saying, okay, I've made the connection. I'm not really at that peace of mind point. I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm mad, I'm hurt, I'm lonely. Those things, those feelings that we have are temporary. They will subside. There are ways to get over them faster. What you do have to pay attention to is, can you think? Do you have a complete thought? Can you get through a complete thought? Can you complete a sentence? Don't you feel freer? I will continue to ask the question over and over and over. What are you compromising in staying connected? You could be compromising your children's peace of mind. You could be compromising your children's emotional state. And I was right at the cusp of compromising my wife and my child's emotional state. And like, literally, that is a non negotiable thing. It's different when it's just me, but two other people that I'm now connected to have no fucking right to go through that shit. Peace of mind for me was something that I really didn't experience as a teenager. And it's so crazy because Wendell will say, oh, I gave Eve all the space she needed. She had her video games. She was able to do this and do that. When I tell y'all I did not have any kid interaction when I was younger, I had one best friend. Me and that best friend only saw each other when I went to my grandmom's house because she lived next door. I didn't go to no birthday parties. I didn't do no sleepovers. I didn't do no fun shit. I didn't do no weekend shit. The isolation was stupid fucking real. Like, it was so severe. So I used to hear Wendell say, oh, Eve got to do this and Eve got to do that. And I'm just like, okay, do you have another child somewhere? Like, did you mysteriously name her after me? Is it another child named after me that's yours living a secret life around this bitch? Because it's not me. I used to be so fucking baffled, like super baffled. The second thing that I gained when I cut ties was my choice. That to me is the biggest thing that we have been not only needing but craving since the beginning of fucking time. Like craving. We've been craving our choice. And only when I was able to say, you know what, deuces, like I'm out. Getting the fuck up out of here. Getting the fuck away from this crazy ass shit. I was like, wow, I have a choice now. If I don't want to do this, I don't have to do this. I don't have nobody threatening me. I don't have nobody saying, if you don't do this, I'm going to come fuck you up. Yeah, she used to go all the way in. I had my choice back. I had my choice to go, stay, say no, say yes. And what we have to fucking remember is that yes and no are complete sentences. I learned that a little bit late. You know what I'm saying? I learned that a little bit late in the process, but they are complete sentences. You don't owe nobody an explanation for your yes or for your no. But when you do say yes or no, make sure that you are saying a firm fucking yes or a firm fucking no. Because that is something that we want people to know is non-negotiable. If I say no, that's what the fuck I mean. Don't come back over here talking about, well, you should do this or you could do that. My no is my no. And I gained that choice when I walked away. And it was so freeing and it was so amazing. A lot of us will get caught up in that in-between area of, well, what if something changes? Or I'm going to miss this family member and that family member. None of our fucking family members have knocked her over the head yet. Well, that's not true. Actually, somebody did knock Wendell over the head. That was a crazy day. Goddamn. Either way, none of y'all family members have knocked y'all mom over the head yet. It's just like, I'm just like, damn, like, fuck. Yeah, Wendell definitely got knocked over the head. But either way, she knocked a couple of people over the head too. Shit got crazy at a time in my life, and it was just like, alrighty, I'm just a kid here. But nobody has jumped in between your mom and you yet to say you're not going to treat her like this. Oh wait, I'll wait. Raise your hands for the people who have experienced that. Some of us have. That's great. The majority of us haven't because, that gaslighting situation, she's going to make us look crazy to everybody and also make us feel crazy. That is what's going on majority of the time. It's not going to stop. It hasn't stopped. The games and tricks only begin to thicken and grow up around us. Continue to grow up around us until we are in fucking bondage. So it's like, are we going to sit here and wait for this shit to grow up around us to the point where we can't get out and now we're in a fucking hole? Or are we going to say, you know what? Stop in the name of get the fuck out of here because I'm done. Like, I'm finished. Don't let the idea of love and false fucking hope keep you hanging on. I'm telling you, you will continue to be hanging on. You will continue to get dragged through the mud, through the dirt, through the pool, all of that shit. Like, literally, you will be set out to hang dry and nobody will be there. None of the fucking family members are going to be there saying, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Or they're not going to be there when you hurt and they're not going to be there when you crying. Shit, they might not. None of them was there when I was bleeding or being choked the fuck out. None of them. Not in every one. So at some point, we really do have to make a decision and say, am I better off cutting ties and making room for people to come into my life that love me? Or am I going to stay here, continue getting what I'm getting, although it feels bad, although I'm hurting and I'm aching and I'm paining and the damage is growing? Or am I going to leave? Period. When you leave, there are so many more motherfucking benefits. Like when I walked away, all I could think was, I'm gonna miss my grandma, I'm gonna miss my cousin, I'm gonna miss, and none of these people, none of them, and I'm, no disrespect, they have tried to have that line of communication, but Wendell was standing in the middle of all of it. So yeah, I'll talk to my grandma when I can. I check in on her through other people, but it still to this day it isn't worth it to put myself in that physical position because you can only go but so far. Some people say, well, how do you get her not to contact you? A restraining order is how. This is not something that I'm going to change overnight. This is not something that's a fucking game. I literally was dead ass serious when I decided to walk away because it was jeopardizing my health. It was jeopardizing my wealth. It was jeopardizing my wisdom. It was jeopardizing my mind. It was jeopardizing my marriage, my family, my money, being stressed out at work, not being able to do my job properly. This shit trickles over into every single area of my life, and it probably trickles over into every single area of yours too. But we really have to be honest and assess, what are we compromising? And it's like, okay, I'm compromising my money, compromising my honey, I'm compromising my mind, my heart, all of that shit, my safety. And for what? For family? Ain't no family offering to pay no bills. Ain't no family offering to wipe my tears. Ain't no family offering to dispel my fears of her ass. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody like, I don't want you to be afraid of her. And people say, were you really afraid of her when you with no contact? Hell yeah, I was afraid of her. You want to know why? Because it's like taking a drug from an addict. Anything could possibly happen. When she don't have that supply, anything could possibly happen. Everybody protect your chest. Everybody protect your chest. Because anything could go down. And it's like, do you really think your mother would hurt you? And even she said it. She even said it. I would not hurt you. You know I wouldn't hurt you. You done hurt me before. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Were you not there? So it's like, I'm putting my everything in the hands of somebody that not only don't even want to be honest and remember the past. And people say, forget the past. When the past keeps repeating itself, it's pretty hard to forget that. I'm sorry. It's pretty hard to forget the past when it keeps repeating itself. And it's like, okay, and so what if I do forget the past? What happens next? Her behavior ain't gonna change. Her wanting her way ain't gonna change. Her wanting to control a whole nother adult human is not going to change. So where does that leave me? Back in the same position. Back being hurt, back crying, back scared as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I noticed as I got older and as I saw that I wasn't broken as I thought I was, you know what I'm saying? As undeserving as I thought I was. Imagine being 20 years old and really like, I don't feel like I deserve love. Yeah, when I overcame that, just recently when I really believed that my whole self, no matter what I look like, no matter if I have a pimple, no matter if I'm just looking exhausted, no matter if I don't have a fresh haircut, when I noticed that I was beautiful in spite of all the shit that I had been through, y'all not gonna tell me that y'all don't crave to feel that exact same thing. Do not let people guilt trip you into holding on. It is not worth it. When are you going to start living your life? This life is yours. She has lived hers. I don't know how many times I can say it. She has lived her life. Some of our parents have lived their life 3 decades before ours even started. Imagine that shit. So when I came into the world, you know what I'm saying? This is when you start acting crazy. No, she was already wilding the fuck out before us. And trust me, no offense, do not take me saying crazy as crazy. I'm not talking about crazy as crazy. I'm not going to keep repeating narcissistic personality disorder. I call that shit on this show crazy. Period. You don't know how to control yourself, how to keep people safe around you, how to censor what you say to be respectful. That shit is ludicrous, is what it is. In 2018, you can't expect people to just sit around that and be around that. And if you are listening and if you are struggling with cutting ties, think about what it's affecting. Are you hurting? Or aren't you hurting? Aren't you aching? Aren't you afraid? Aren't you worried? All of those things can end. All of those feelings are feelings. Most feelings are temporary. They are not factual. They can all be changed. You are so fucking worth it. I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times I can say how fucking worth it you are. And some of us may say, well, what am I going to do when I'm all alone? Go out, live your fucking life. Take yourself to a fucking movie. Go to fucking happy hour. Have a few drinks. Now, I'm not saying get in a car drunk. I'm just saying have a glass of wine. Have a Heineken. Have something that's quick. Tell yourself you look beautiful. Take yourself out. Buy some new shoes. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, well, shit, I ain't balling like that. Why? Because she done took all your money because she won't stop asking for shit. Yeah, I know how that is. I know how that is. Literally. Just hanging on. Taking every little single fucking drop, every little single fucking thing. When are you going to start living for you? When are you going to start supporting yourself? You don't have to keep fighting. You don't have to keep suffering in silence. Like, I know for me, the first thing I thought was, what example am I setting for my fucking teenager? Like, and I'm so grateful that she was able to see certain things firsthand, because now she'll get into a situation with people at school and she'll be like, okay, this person is not treating me respectfully. They're not speaking to me the way that my standard allows, the way that I speak to them. And she cut that shit off short. She'd be like, nope, listen, if you can't speak to me with respect, if we can't keep a cordial, open, respectful understanding, then I guess we can't be friends. That is the generation that I want to be a part of helping create. Because you know what the fuck we'll cut down on? We'll cut down on narcissistic moms. I really want to dead narcissistic personality disorder. I want to expose it. I want people to know what the fuck to look for. I want people to know when they are dealing with a narcissist. I really want people to know that it is a personal fucking choice to be connected to this shit. You will be okay. And I know that there's some of my listeners who have small kids that know what their grandmom looks like, that knows what their grandmom is, that knows that she's there. But sometimes we do have to walk away. And we have to love our children tight and love our children hard, because our babies are babies. And if we continue to keep ourselves connected, they'll continue to be connected and they'll get the same shit that we got. And some people may say, oh, well, my mom loves my kids so much, she would never do that. Turn your fucking back long enough. Turn your back long enough. Turn your back long enough. A good friend of mine was telling me that, her mom is an Arkan, and she left two of her kids with her mom, and she was able to overhear her mom coming into her mom's house. She was able to overhear her telling one of the children that he was less than the other. You're no good. You're worse than your sister. You're this. You're that. These kids are 5 years old. 5 years old. And before I had a discussion with her, she didn't know what narcissistic personality disorder was. She didn't know that maternal narcissism was a fucking thing. I started talking about the symptoms and this is what they look for and these are the things that may happen. And she was like, oh my gosh, I think my mom is an art. Pay attention to this, pay attention to that. Things started lining up. Turn your back long enough and leave your children with them long enough. Trust me, we've been around to see how they treated us as kids, and all of a sudden it's supposed to change. Nah, it just does not work that way. All they are looking for is an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And yes, sometimes they will love more than they wreak havoc, but it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And it's like, yo, fuck yeah, I miss my family. Hell yeah, of course I miss my family. I miss my family all the time. But my family was not a first line offender to the bullshit. They wasn't. Like, I was the only innocent bystander when it came to being around family, because it's like a few family gatherings that my family would have throughout the year, and everybody would be like, "Wendell sure love Eve so much, just love her so much." When I made the separation, nobody really understood why. They was just like, well, we know that there's something going on. And, I called a few of my aunts and was able to just give them my respect because they're so much older, and they stopped seeing me at family functions. And it's like, okay, Eve's married, she has a family. We've seen her and her family at one family function. After that, it was a wrap. So, out of respect, I call them and let them know, sometimes things just need a break. And to know that they understood, when you separate yourself, people are able to see things for what they really are and what they really are not. Because the gaslighting, that shit is a mean fucking game. And for someone to be smearing and berating you constantly, people do begin to believe it. Now, I'm not saying that, okay, you need to go and say, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. That wasn't my fault. I wasn't a part of this. No. You separate yourself, she'll continue to do those things. But it's like, okay, Eve hasn't even been around. So what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you saying? I know that some family members know that I have this podcast. I know that some of her friends have probably mentioned it because they've seen it on Facebook. But you know what? With my choice, my voice, and my peace of mind, I could really care less because it does nothing. It is a grain of salt compared to all of the things she said I've done, all of the things she put me through, all of the pain and all of that shit. And now, am I saying that this podcast is a get back? Am I saying that? No, I'm not. What I'm saying is that when I separated and cut ties from her and unfortunately my family, there were things that I gained. And my freedom was one of them. Each and every one of you have freedom that is stored away. And the moment that you say, you know what, I am washing my hands of this, those shackles are unlocked. They fall to the ground. You are able to shout. You are able to run and leap with joy. You deserve that. And I didn't know I deserved it. I had already counted myself out of receiving love and out of having a family at 20 years old. I didn't even want to be a part of my own family. I said it. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't. I just wanted to be by my motherfucking self. I didn't want to be bothered with anybody. A year later, I was fostering 7 kids at one time, the most amazing experience. And here I am 5 years later, married with a family. I never thought that that was due to me. There is so much that is due to us because of all that we have gone through. And sometimes being connected will stop us from reaping those benefits, stop us from receiving those blessings that are just on standby. I always think about our sisters who leave this earth not knowing that their freedom was just on the other side of get out. They're on the inside of the door, and they don't know that right on the other side of the door is your freedom. You'll get your laughter back. You'll get your happiness back. You'll get your choices back. You'll get your voice back. It's so many things that are due to us. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it is the most easiest thing, but things do start falling into place. If we continue to stay connected for the sake of, Aunt Sue or all of these extra family members, it's just like, dude, like what do I do? And I know that some of us may have fathers that are still present in the picture. Your father is not going to love you any less. He will respect your firm no, but only when you said it and it is not something that can be changed or pushed up against to be moved by anyone else. And let's just say, for instance, he does. Let's just say he's just like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with you because you're turning your back on your mom. You know she loves you and this, that, and the third, and give all the reasons under the sun why you shouldn't walk away. Okay. You were blessed to have him in the madness with the chaos alongside her shenanigans forever. We do not need our parents to hold our hand for the rest of the way. Trust me, I know. Like, I'm so fucking serious. My father moved super south when I came back to DC from Atlanta. And honestly, I was like, yo, like, did he move because I came back? Like, I thought he was going to be excited, to be able to have a relationship with me. Nope. Nope. Not at all. And isn't making an effort to. Isn't making an effort to. Now, what he did tell me was that these episodes that your mom is having, she used to have them when we were young, before you were even born. Like, the insight, do you know what that did for me? To know that, okay, again, one, I'm not the issue. Two, it didn't start with me. And three, it's not going to end with me. Imagine that. Imagine that. I want you to ask yourself, if you were to walk away today, what would you gain? I want you to leave your kids out of it, leave your spouse out of it, leave your father out of it, leave your siblings out of it. If you were to walk away today, what would you gain? Would it be peace of mind? Would it be more motherfucking money that stays in your pocket? Would it be safety? Would it be less hurt? Because I know for a fact staying connected just compounded the pain, seeing that the things that she knew was hurting me, she was not willing to stop. And even if she was willing to stop, it was only for a specific situation and possibly something that would benefit her. This is your life. At what point is it going to benefit you? Yo, like, I be really wanting to get on my Yon Levant and like, listen, beloved. But y'all know me. I'm going to be cussing and fussing for the greater good, for your happiness, for our freedom, for our voices, and for our choices. Narcissistic personality disorder isn't permanent for us. It may be permanent for our moms, but we can figure out a way to get from up under this thing that has been stomping the shit out of us for so fucking long. I'm here to tell you that it does not have to be one moment longer. I am y'all test dummy if y'all haven't noticed. I'm going before to make sure that this shit works, testing it out, trying it out. I've tested it out and tried it out 1,000 times. And this time it actually worked. It can be applied to any situation. You just have to be ready. And it's okay if you're not ready yet. These podcasts will be here. The support system will be here. I will always be here. I will always be here. It is okay if right now it's just you're just not there yet. Cake got to bake a little bit longer. That's fine. But know that there is another way. There is another option. You are not going to get to happiness by fighting through a disorder. The definition of disorder is lack of order or regular arrangement. Confusion. You cannot fight through confusion and get to order. You just can't. You're never going to make it to the other side. So there is another way around it. If your end goal is peace, if your end goal is happiness, but unfortunately, it's not going to be singing Kumbaya, at Christmas with hot cocoa. It just isn't. You know what I'm saying? This is not a Meet the Fockers movie. And no matter how much we want it to be a bad dream, it is reality. What I can guarantee you is that you are able to wake up from this bad dream. Now, you may wake up on the floor, but at least you are still in the room. There's still a fighting chance. I want you to know right now, wherever you are, that there is another way. And that other way is knowing what you want, holding on to your choices, taking back your voices, and being free. It is possible. I love each and every one of y'all. Until next time, thanks for tuning in to VANQPod.